Crypto? What the heck is it? And why does it go up and down like a roller coaster? Hey, you into crypto? That one question? It splits the room in two. One side goes, yeah, sold my house for it. Can't even look my parents in the eye anymore. The other side? LOL, made more than my power bill last month. Easy. But here's the real question. How many people actually knew what crypto was before jumping in? Well, today, we're breaking it all down. So what is cryptocurrency anyway? In one sentence, it's digital money that doesn't need banks or governments. The money we usually use, it's all centralized, made and managed by places like the Bank of Korea, the Federal Reserve, the ECB. But crypto? No banks, no suits, just lines of code and an army of computers keeping things running. Transactions? They're etched forever into a thing called the blockchain, a digital ledger that's public and unchangeable. And it's verified by thousands of computers all over the world. Who sends the money? Well, not Steve from Seoul. It's more like Zerozapped 1234. Not totally anonymous, but definitely more like a secret agent. Code name than a name tag. Why was it invented in the first place? To store value, to use as a universal payment method, to measure wealth in a digital world. And the twist, it wanted to do all of that, without banks. That's not just innovation, that's basically the nerds revolting in real life. Types of crypto: a whole buffet of digital drama. 1. Bitcoin BTC. This is where it all began. Created in 2009 by the mystery genius Satoshi Nakamoto, Bitcoin is the digital gold. With a market cap of $2 trillion and one coin worth over $110,000, it doesn't trust, it doesn't rot, and it doesn't crash when the bank sneezes. 2. Altcoins, aka alternative coins. If it's not Bitcoin, it's an altcoin. Ethereum ETH, the godfather of smart contracts, home of DeFi, NFTs, and Web3 dreams. Solana, Ripple, Cardano, you name it, they do something different. As of today, CoinMarketCap lists over 13 million altcoins, and that's not counting the unlisted chaos out there. And then there's these guys, the meme coins. Yep, a Shiba Inu barked once and suddenly its coin hit $20 billion market cap. That was Dogecoin Doge, and from that came a meme coin explosion. Meme coins? They don't care about tech, they're cute, they're fun, and when the internet rallies behind them, they fly. Elon Musk tweets? Boom. Reddit, Discord, X light up. Zoom. Easy to buy, but the volatility? Yikes, straight to the moon or hell. Started as a joke, but now? They're being used for payments, donations, tipping, even DeFi. So yeah, meme coins are basically viral internet gifs that might buy you a house if they pop off. Too silly to take seriously, until they go mainstream. 3. Stablecoins. The suit and tie of the crypto world. USDT pretends to be decentralized, but secretly holds $90 billion in US Treasury bonds. USDC gets audited. Regulators say, wow, you're such a good boy. DAI, the Switzerland of stablecoins. Fully decentralized, code-based. I trust algorithms over humans. 4. Tokens. These aren't standalone coins. They're like digital tenants living on a blockchain. Example? ERC20 tokens. Useful for liquidity pools, staking, DAOs, you name it. The history of crypto, straight out of Netflix. 2008, some rando named Satoshi drops the Bitcoin white paper. No banks. Let's make our own money. 2015, Ethereum rolls in. Let's code contracts, not just cash. 2017 to 2018, the ICO madness. Got a white paper? Congrats, now you have a coin. 2020, DeFi boom. Come farm your yield and harvest your returns. 2022, Terra, lunar crash. UST's protected by code. Spoiler, it wasn't. 2025, crypto market hits $3.5 trillion. Stablecoins are now buying US Treasuries like candy. So, what's the TLDR? Crypto isn't just some internet prank pulled by a bunch of hoodie-wearing hackers anymore. Now, they're buying government bonds, making banks sweat, giving regulators migraines. Crypto is no longer just digital money. It's become the main character in a global financial thriller. And now, we dive deeper into the most mysterious, most dangerous, and strangely charming corner of them all. Stablecoins. Fake looking but real. Real looking but sketchy. The backbone, the troll, and sometimes the hero of the entire crypto world. Let's uncover what they're really made of. What's a stablecoin? The calm pill in the crypto chaos. Alright, folks. There's a saying in the world of crypto. People who go all in on crypto only smile at 3 a.m. Why? Because Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, they can jump 10% in a day, then crash 20% by dinner. If stocks are a roller coaster, crypto is an amusement park with no safety rails. You never know when you're getting flipped upside down. So guess who shows up? The stablecoin, aka crypto's chill pill. As the name suggests, stable means its price doesn't freak out. I am the spirit of the dollar. I don't bounce around like those other coins. Trust me, that's the vibe. Let's ask the obvious question. How the heck does a stablecoin stay at $1? Behind that simple idea are actually three totally different philosophies and strategies. Each one tries to prove, in its own way, yep, I'm a dollar. Believe it. First, we've got the real world grounded stablecoins. These guys are backed by actual dollars or traditional assets like US Treasury bonds. Think USDT Tether or USDC Circle. We've got real reserves. Even government bonds in the vault. They're what we call cash-backed coins. Very conservative, very down to earth. Second style? A bit more on the decentralized side. These ones say, let's use crypto as collateral. The poster child here is DAI. You lock up a big chunk of Ethereum, way more than you're borrowing, and mint stablecoins against it. I'm not a debtor, okay? I'm an over-collateralized, risk-aware borrower. The system is trustworthy, sure. But when your collateral is super volatile, liquidation risk is always lurking. Third type? Oh, it's a spicy one. Algorithmic stablecoins. These rely on supply and demand, adjusted by code, to keep their price at $1. Let the market decide. If demand goes up, we print. If it drops, we burn coins. In theory, beautiful. In reality, remember Terra's UST? Once trust vanished, it popped like a balloon in a cactus store. Moral of the story, algorithms aren't gods. So now you've got all these different stable coins out there, each one screaming, I'm worth $1. Some put bonds behind them, some over-collateralize, some trust math like it's magic. The result? We now have options, and stable coins are becoming more and more diverse. But why do we need them in the first place? In crypto, prices go wild every hour. Yesterday, 1 Bitcoin bought you 2 pizzas. Today, 1.5. Tomorrow, half a pizza and a crust. You need a reference point. That's what stable coins are. Try saying I'll pay you 0.00038 BTC. Not fun. Much better to say here's 20 USDT. Now we're talking pizza, NFTs, or even blockchain-powered smart fridges. And don't forget about remittances. If you've got family overseas or freelance clients abroad, bank transfers are a pain. High fees, days of delays, holidays make it worse. Try sending money to your mom in the Philippines. Bank 5% fee, 3 days wait. Weekend? Add another day. USDT fee $0.01. Time 30 seconds. All she needs is a wallet app on her phone. No borders, no banks, no Sunday closures. And stablecoins? They're basically the US dollar of the DeFi universe. On platforms like Aave or Uniswap, USDT is the standard currency. Use USDT as collateral, borrow more, earn interest, provide liquidity. Without stablecoins in DeFi, you've got a car without wheels. The upsides? Super clear. Stable value. Even when crypto goes haywire, stablecoins let you sleep easy. Fast transfers. Fees? Nearly zero. Time? 30 seconds flat. They're the backbone of DeFi. Deposit, borrow, earn. DeFi runs on stable coins. They cross borders like pros. No bank account? No problem. In countries battling inflation, these are basically digital dollars. Argentina, Turkey, Nigeria. For millions, USDT is a lifeline. But they've got downsides too. Biggest one? Centralization. USDT and USDC are issued by private companies. Do they really have the money in the vault? Have they been audited? That suspicion never leaves. Tether, especially, has a history of saying, we have the reserves, but rarely shows receipts. Real audits? Pretty scarce. Next issue, regulation risk. Governments in the US, Europe, etc. are slowly circling. Is this a security? Are they acting like a real currency? Little by little, the grip tightens. Even if things are chill now, one new law could mean bans, fines, or restrictions. That's the scary part. And finally, the biggest red flag: algorithmic stablecoins. Remember the Terra UST collapse in 2022? They proudly said, we maintain price with code. Then, boom. gone. UST and Luna crashed together, straight to crypto hell. When trust breaks, the system breaks. The world watched it unravel in real time. So let's wrap this up. A stablecoin is basically a coin that moves like the US dollar. Why do we need it? To make crypto payments sane, to send money fast, to keep DeFi from falling apart. It's not perfect, but millions already use it every day. Stablecoins have gone from crypto's supporting cast to becoming financial rock stars. They're the only coins in crypto that sit still, but inside, they're packed with US bonds, banking drama, regulations, and smart contracts. If Bitcoin is freedom, stablecoins are freedom sitting on top of order. So here's to the quiet hero keeping crypto's heart rate steady. The one and only stablecoin. The blockchain network. Everyone's an accountant, everyone's a cop. So where do stablecoins actually live? On the playground called the blockchain. But heads up, this playground is not your average sandbox. It's got 24 hours 7 days surveillance. And every player is also the referee. So, how would you sum up blockchain in one sentence? It's a digital notebook shared by thousands of people. When someone writes something in it, everyone else peeks over and goes, "Hey, is this right? Yeah, looks good. Go ahead and write the next line." And guess what? Nobody's holding an eraser. Why? Because if you try to erase something, everyone freaks out. This notebook is write-only. Once it's in there, it's there forever. Key ingredients of a blockchain: block, a bundle of transaction records. Example, Kielsu sends means to 10 USDT. Stuff like that. Chain, those blocks are chained together in a line, like they're holding hands and dancing. And the glue? Cryptographic hashes. You can't break that chain. Node, every computer that keeps a full copy of this blockchain notebook. The more nodes there are, the harder it is to hack. We're talking thousands of copies around the globe. Consensus algorithm, how the network decides who gets to write the next block. Proof of work, I solved this crazy math problem first. Bitcoin style. Proof of stake, I staked a lot of money, trust me to write this. Ethereum style. Different blockchain networks, different personalities. Bitcoin BTC. The slow but steady big brother. I just do transactions. Smart contracts? Never heard of them. USDT used to launch on Bitcoin via OmniLayer, nobody really uses that now. Ethereum ETH, the straight A student. Smart contracts, DeFi, NFTs, you name it, it does it. USDT's most popular version? ERC20 on Ethereum. Tron, the delivery guy on a scooter. Super fast, super cheap. Famous for TRC20 USDT. Transaction fees? Like, 0.01 bucks. Solana, the I live for speed type, handles 60,000 transactions per second. But sometimes it just stops. Oops, I need a nap. Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, Bast say, Avalanche, etc. Hey, we can do all that stuff too. Crew. Low fees, DeFi friendly, multi-chain compatible. USDT is now on 14 blockchains. Seriously, it's everywhere. So what's the relationship between stablecoins and blockchains? Stablecoins can only exist on blockchains. You can't just say deposit USDT into your bank account. You need a wallet address. And more importantly, you need the right chain. Send TRC20 USDT to an ERC20 wallet. Buy coins. So yeah, which blockchain you use affects fees, speed, and what DeFi tools you can access. USDT on Ethereum? Trusted, widely used, but gas fees can be brutal. On Tron? Dirt cheap and fast, but folks worry it's a little too centralized. So why do people love blockchains anyway? Decentralization, no government or company needed to process transactions. Immutability, once written, it's etched in digital stone. Transparency, every transaction is public on the blockchain explorer. No shady business. Security, thousands of nodes watching at all times, no funny business. But yes, there are downsides too. Fees and speed, Ethereum gets crowded. You might pay $50 just to send $5. Scalability, more users, slower network. It's a real issue. Let's put it into a fun analogy. Blockchain is like an office where 1,000 accountants do the same bookkeeping at the same time. Stablecoins are the dollar bills they use to balance the books. Smart contracts? Excel macros that follow the rules and run themselves. And right there in that busy little digital office, one single USDT coin floats quietly by, minding its business. Now you get the picture, right? Stablecoins don't just float around on their own. They're backed by a complex, brainy system of gears and code called the blockchain network. That's the powerful machine carrying them behind the scenes. DeFi, the great escape from banks. Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever tried getting a loan from a bank? You hand in documents, you wait, you get a phone call, you wait some more, and then you get hit with your credit score isn't high enough. At that moment, one thought crosses your mind. Dear bank, it's over between us. And right when you're thinking of breaking up with your bank, boom, here comes DeFi, aka decentralized finance, aka the Bank Escape Project. So what is DeFi, really? It's exactly what it sounds like. A bank without a bank. No buildings, no tellers, no suits. But how is that even possible? 2 words. Smart contracts. These little automated programs do all the work. No emotion, no lunch breaks, no judgment. Here's how it works. You make a crypto wallet. No name needed. No ID check. It's your wallet. Period. You deposit USDT or any stablecoin into that wallet. You hop onto a platform like Aave and deposit your USDT as collateral. Boom, you can now borrow other crypto. Example, deposit $1,000 in USDT, borrow $800 worth of DAI. In short, traditional banks judge you by credit. DeFi judges by your collateral. Banks open 9 to 4, weekdays only. DeFi, 24 hours 7 days, global, never sleeps. Banks charge you fees. DeFi shares the profit with you. What can you do with DeFi? Borrow, lend. On platforms like Aave or Compound, lock up your crypto and borrow other coins. Interest? Auto-calculated in real time. Late payments? Nah. If your collateral drops, you get liquidated instantly. Decentralized exchanges DEX. On Uniswap or Curve, anyone can swap anything, no middleman needed. Say, I want USDT, and the protocol finds the price on the spot. Prices are set by liquidity pools, not humans. Provide liquidity LP. Put your crypto into a liquidity pool, and every time someone trades, you earn a piece of the fees. That's the magic of yield farming. Staking. Lock your assets in a protocol and earn rewards. Example, stake USDT on Curve, earn 5 to 8% APR. Trade synthetic assets. Buy and sell tokens that track real-world assets like stocks, gold, oil. Want digital Tesla? You can buy it with stablecoins. Insurance. Projects like Nexus Mutual offer coverage against smart contract hacks. Yep, even DeFi has insurance now. And what fuels this whole machine? Stablecoins. Yep, we're talking about USDT, USDC, and friends. You deposit stablecoins. You borrow stablecoins. You earn stablecoins. You trade with stablecoins. Why? Because Bitcoin and Ethereum are way too volatile. Stablecoins are basically fixed value assets, making them perfect collateral. Over 70% of activity on Uniswap, Curve, Aave runs on USDT, USDC. Let's look at a real-life example. James made some profits in crypto, but didn't want to cash out and trigger taxes. So he deposits $50,000 worth of USDT into Aave. Then he borrows $40,000 in DAI. What happens? His crypto stays untouched. He gets cash to use. Taxes? Delayed interest? 4% annually. And the whole process? 100% automated. No bank employee ever showed up. Loan approved. The upside? It's a dream. Open access, no nationality, job, or credit score required. Just a wallet. Transparency, every transaction is logged on chain. Automation, runs 24 hours 7 days. No humans involved. Profit potential, earn interest, trading fees, staking rewards. Censorship resistance, even sanctions and politics can't stop it. Sometimes good, sometimes risky. But of course, there are downsides too. Smart contract hacks. In 2023, Curve was hacked, $70 million gone. One line of buggy code could cost millions. Regulatory uncertainty. What if the government says USDT is banned? The whole system could shake. Collateral volatility. If your collateral like ETH crashes, you get liquidated fast. Rug pulls. Some devs just vanish. Thanks for the deposits. We're out. Still confused by this whole bankless bank thing? Let's break it down one more time. DeFi, finance with no people. More precisely, it's finance managed by smart contracts. No employees, no lunch breaks, no hold music, just code. Cold, precise, unflinching code. What makes DeFi awesome? Anyone can use it. No sir, may I see your ID? Just open a wallet. Whether you're in Korea or Brazil, 18 or 80, no one can stop you. And what's the currency of choice in all of this? Stablecoins like USDT and USDC. They don't bounce around in price, so you can borrow, trade, earn interest, whatever. There's a whole menu of DeFi services. Use stablecoins to get loans. Swap crypto with zero intermediaries. Stake your assets and earn passive income. Add to liquidity pools and share the rewards. Even buy insurance for your smart contracts. In short, everything a bank does, but automated and decentralized. So is it perfect? No. Hacks are real. Code is written by humans, and humans make mistakes. Remember the 2020 flash loan exploit? Tens of millions vanished. Also, regulations are murky. Governments still can't decide. Is this finance? A security? Just software? Any day now, they might say, banned. Or you need a license. Bottom line, DeFi is fast, cheap, and wide open. But with great freedom comes the need to manage your risk. Still, millions of people are already using DeFi. With just a crypto wallet, they're accessing full financial systems. DeFi isn't just new finance. It's a whole new system where trust is coded, not spoken. So if standing in line at the bank drives you nuts, well, click once, borrow instantly, and manage your assets with no middleman. Just remember, stablecoins are always at the center of it all. DAI, the democratic stablecoin minted by smart contracts. So far, we've met USDT, the dollar copycat with a US Treasury sugar daddy, and USDC, the teachers pet regulators just love. But now, we're changing gears. Enter DAI, the odd one out. It wasn't born with approval. It was born with a mission. I don't need anyone's permission. I am code. Meet DAI, the decentralized stablecoin with an attitude. So who issues DAI? Not a person, not a company. A smart contract. No central bank, just code. It's run by MakerDAO. What's a DAO? Decentralized autonomous organization. Basically, a financial co-op that lives on the internet. No CEO. No executives. Everything is decided by votes. Who votes? Anyone holding a token called MKR. How is DAI created? Think of it as borrowing coins using coins. Example, James has some Ethereum ETH. He deposits it into MakerDAO. The system gives him DAI, roughly 6,070% of the ETH's value. So, deposit $3,000 worth of ETH, get about 2,000 DAI. Why the buffer? Because crypto can crash fast. That extra collateral is insurance against wild price swings. Now you might ask, wait, is DAI backed by US Treasuries like USDT or USDC? No, DAI is backed by things like ETH, WBTC, and yes, even USDC. Hold up, did you just say DAI, the decentralized one, uses USDC as collateral? Yep, that's the awkward truth. As of 2025, around 40% of DAI's collateral is USDC. So these days, even DAI is like, look, I still believe in freedom, but I also believe in stability. Still, DAI isn't just another coin. It's a symbol of blockchain democracy, used all across DeFi for lending, trading, farming, and even payments. Some examples: Uniswap pools DAI, USDT, USDC, Aave, borrow other coins using DAI, Curve, stake DAI for yield farming payments. Yep, some platforms accept DAI directly. DAI is the Swiss Army knife of stablecoins. It can buy, borrow, earn, and build. But is it risk-free? No. If ETH drops hard, collateral falls, your loan gets automatically liquidated. Smart contract hacks? Still a threat. In 2020, a flash loan attack had everyone sweating. And don't forget, 40% of DAI is backed by USDC. If something like the SVB collapse happens again and USDC freezes, DAI's in trouble too. Regulators are also circling. The Genius Act says, we want stable coins backed by treasuries. The Clarity Act says, we'll let DeFi live, but your code better be bulletproof. So here's the takeaway. The DeFi world has its own lineup of stablecoin personalities. USDT, I'm fast and cheap, but what's behind me? I don't ask too much. USDC, I'm solid, but I played safe with the government. DAI, let's make money by the people, for the people, with the people. Open source, community driven, fully permissionless. Anyone can mint it, just lock up some collateral. Anyone can vote on its policies, just hold MKR tokens. But that freedom, it comes with responsibility. If the market gets shaky, DAI can get rattled too. That's what makes DAI so fascinating. It's not purely decentralized anymore. But it's also not your average corporate coin. It lives in the middle, balancing ideals and reality like a true DeFi grown adult. DAI is more than a token. It's a sign of DeFi's growing pains and maturity. And now that you've met DAI, congratulations, you officially know the big three of stablecoins. Next up, we're diving into the brain behind it all. Smart contracts, where code keeps its promises. Let's go. Smart contracts, how computers keep their promises. You know how contracts usually work, right? They're printed on paper. You sign them, stamp them, and when things go south, you call a lawyer. But in the blockchain world, contracts are code. And get this, you don't even need a lawyer. That's the magic of a smart contract, a contract that's actually smart. Let me give you an example. If Kielsu deposits USDT into Aave, the system loans him DAI. If the condition is met, the computer executes it automatically. Ding. Loan complete. Human involvement? None. Staff? Zero. Emotion? forget it. That's the core of a smart contract. If conditions are met, it runs. If not, it doesn't. Cold, robotic, but 100% honest. So what do smart contracts actually look like? On Ethereum, they're written in a language called Solidity. Developers use it to code things like auto loans, auto liquidation, auto swaps, you name it. Once deployed on the blockchain, thousands of nodes around the world copy and run the same code. In other words, an unchangeable program runs simultaneously across the entire globe. Cool and terrifying, right? So how is it used in real life? Uniswap. If someone provides USDT, automatically give them ETH. The price? Calculated by algorithm. Slippage and fees? All handled automatically. Are they? If collateral value drops below a threshold, liquidate. Even if it's 3 AM on a holiday, no exceptions. Make a DAO for DAI. Only mint DAI if collateral vault exceeds 150%. If value falls, liquidate instantly. Bottom line, all these financial moves are happening based on code, not people. And the advantage is? Oh, they're sweet. Automation, no humans needed to run contracts. Transparency, code and transactions are public on-chain. Censorship resistance, nobody can stop the contract. Borderless, doesn't matter if you're in the US or Brazil, got a wallet? You're in. 24 hours 7 days operations, no lunch breaks, holidays, or maintenance windows. But hey, it's not all sunshine and smart code. Code is forever. Once deployed, you can't change it. Even if there's a bug, it's already been copied everywhere. Like the 2016 DAO hack, $60 million drained because of one code flaw. Flash loan attacks. In 2020, someone exploited timing gaps, borrowed a fortune, instantly, manipulated prices, and poof, walked off with millions. Open to all, easier to scam. For every well-built smart contract, there's a shady one saying, stake here for 2000% APY. Hello, rug pulls. To sum it up, smart contracts are the ultimate expression of the idea. Don't trust people, trust code. Bank clerks, brokers, notaries, all replaced by a single line of code. Because of smart contracts, DeFi works, DAI exists, Aave loans flow, Uniswap swaps happen. So yeah, smart contracts are both the engine of blockchain finance and the rulebook that lets stablecoins play. Without them, USDT is just a digital sticker. DAI is nothing more than an idea. So now you get it, right? This clever contract system is reshaping how money moves globally. We're entering a world where finance, contracts, and money are all governed by code. Up next, let's dive into the strongest stablecoin on the playground, USDT. We'll unpack where it came from, why it's been sued a bunch, and how on earth it's still standing. Buckle up for the story of the gangster and superstar of crypto. The USDT episode is next. USDC is issued by Circle, the US, while Bitcoin's throwing wild price tantrums, and Ethereum's gas fees are draining souls. There's one token that quietly, steadily took over the crypto market. Its name, Tether, or, more specifically, USDT. Tether proudly shouts, I am the dollar, but digital and in real time. And no, I'm not fake. At first glance, it sounds pretty trustworthy, but poke around a little and you'll hear the follow-up question. But do you actually have those dollars? The birth of Tether. Born in 2014 in California, it originally went by the name Realcoin. It was the first real attempt at pegging a crypto to the US dollar, 1-to-1. Soon after, it rebranded as Tether, declaring, our coin is tethered to the US dollar. From that moment on, breaking away from $1 was forbidden. Period. How Tether works. Someone sent Tether $1. Tether mints 1 USDT. Want to cash out? Tether burns the USDT and sends back $1. Simple? Sure, until you ask, where exactly is that dollar sitting? At first, Tether said, 100% cash backed. Later it changed to, well, mostly cash-like stuff. Some treasuries, too. So what's the setup now? As of June 2025, Tether holds $140 billion in reserves. Most of it, US Treasury bonds. Surprised? The rebel of crypto is now the 17th largest holder of US debt, right behind Saudi Arabia. Turns out, the bad boy of crypto is backing its coin with arguably the safest assets on earth. So why is it still controversial? Transparency issues. Tether kept promising a full independent audit for years. Never really happened. Instead, just quarterly snapshots, or as they call it, attestations. Attestation, not a full audit, more like a quick check signed off by a third party. Lawsuits. In 2019, the New York Attorney General said, hey, you and Bitfinex are secretly sharing cash. cash, and misused $850 million, settled for $18.5 million fines. In 2021, the CFTC said you issued USDT without backing it fully, fined $41 million. Illegal transactions. A 2023 report named USDT the #1 stablecoin used in money laundering. Total volume? $1.93 billion. But if it's so shady, why hasn't it collapsed? It's fast and cheap, near zero fees, especially on Tron. Hugely popular in Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia. It's the digital dollar. Liquidity is insane. Daily volume often beats Bitcoin. Most exchanges use USDT as their base trading pair. It's infrastructure, not just a coin. Without USDT, DeFi, centralized exchanges, OTC markets wouldn't function. Crisis response is surprisingly good. Reserves now shifting more into safe assets like Treasuries. Partnered with BDO Italy for attestations. What about regulations? Genius Act says stablecoins need to be backed 100% by US Treasuries. Tether, we're already doing that. Clarity Act. USDT's okay as a payment stablecoin but follow AML, CFT rules strictly. Tether has no US headquarters. It's registered in the British Virgin Islands, which means it's expertly surfing the regulatory gray zone. So what is Tether, really? The most used coin in crypto, the most criticized, the most targeted by regulators, and yet completely unshaken. It's basically that troublemaker friend everyone talks trash about, but no one can live without. Even today, the market still says, I hate Tether, but I can't live without it. As of 2025, market cap $137 billion, 24-hour trading volume $81.7 billion, users, over 400 million worldwide. Tether isn't just a coin, it's a crypto mega giant, a boss-level character. Now that you've met Tether, maybe it's time to meet its clean-cut rival, the polite, well-regulated genius USDC. Next up, let's dive into Circle, explore US Treasuries, reserve transparency, and how they're trying to survive in the DeFi jungle. The USDC chapter is just around the corner. Circle and USDC, the comeback of the stablecoin straight A student. If Tether is the troublemaker with street cred in the crypto world, then this one? It's the opposite. Suit-wearing, audit-loving, regulator-approved golden child. Ladies and gents, meet USDC. So, who's USDC? USDC is issued by Circle, a US-based fintech company, but not just any company. Headquarters in Boston, founded by Goldman Sachs alumni, in close contact with the SEC, OCC, and NIDFs. Funded by BlackRock and Goldman Sachs. Yeah, it's a real, institutional player in crypto. How's it different? If Tether is like, yeah, we probably have the cash somewhere, then USDC says, we have full reserves, mostly US Treasuries. Here's the audit. Monthly audits, originally Grant Thornton, now with Deloitte. Public reserve reports, 100% backed by cash US Treasuries. As of 2025, reserves total $60 billion. This makes USDC the darling of regulators. AML, CFT-ready strict anti-money laundering compliance. KYC checks, ID verification required for minting and redemption. Legal infrastructure, licensed money transmission services in the US. Supports ISO 20022, the international payment standard. If Tether is that guy lending cash in a hoodie behind a gas station, USDC is the kid whose dad manages a local bank branch. But it's not flawless. Let's talk weaknesses. So safe, it's boring. No volatility, no hype, just clean numbers. Speculators don't get juicy gains like they might with USDT. Smaller market share. 2025 USDC market cap, $53 billion vice versa. Tether's $137 billion. In DeFi 2, Tether dominates liquidity USDC 26%. The 2023 SVB crisis. Circle had $3.3 billion stuck in SVB when the bank collapsed. USDC briefly dropped to $0.88. Recovered after US government stepped in, but trust took a hit. Still, USDC is growing, steadily and seriously. Integrated with PayPal, Visa, Stripe. Partnered with FedNow, the US real-time payment rail. Launched Circle Mint, a B2B platform for minting, redemption. IPO coming in late 2025. Once listed, it becomes a true Wall Street player. And here's the big one. If the Genius Act passes, USDC is tailor-made for it. Backed by US Treasuries. Transparent audits. Fully AML, KYC compliant. Regulators basically say, yeah, this is a digital bank. So how does USDC stack up against Tether? Both are $1 stablecoins, but their personalities. Tether, trust me, I'm a dollar. Don't ask too many questions. USDC. Here's my reserve report. and last month's audit. Would you like a printed copy? Their origins tell the story. Tether, registered in the British Virgin Islands, operates in legal grey zones. USDC, born in Boston, USA, fully licensed, regularly audited, and very, very legit. Their reserve strategies differ too. Tether, we've got cash, treasuries, maybe some other safe assets. It's all diversified. USDC, no surprises, just straight up treasuries and cash. Predictable, transparent, audit culture, night and day. Tether will get audited eventually. USDC, here's this month's audit. Enjoy. Regulation? Completely opposite approaches. Tether dances in the grey zone. USDC works with regulators and plays by the book. So who's better? Depends. Tether rules in fast, high liquidity markets. It's cheap, quick, and dominant on exchanges. But for institutions, global firms, and regulators, USDC wins their trust, hands down. So really, Tether's the survivor everyone's suspicious of. USDC's the perfectionist turning gold stars. Both are useful, both serve different niches, and both are shaping crypto in their own way. What is USDC, then? A coin built to survive the regulated future of finance. The most trusted digital dollar among institutions and enterprises. A rising fintech giant backed by US financial heavyweights. As crypto shifts from chaos to compliance, USDC stands right at the crossroads. And inside DeFi, it's in stablecoin pools DAI, USDC, USDT, used as collateral, accepted for payments. Its influence is growing by the day. And yes, DAI uses USDC as a major collateral asset. That's how deeply USDC is trusted. It's part of DeFi's core infrastructure. Now that you know USDC, you've met the full cast of the stablecoin power trio: Tether, DAI, and USDC. Up next, let's zoom out and explore how these stablecoins fit into the bigger picture of global finance, reserve assets, monetary sovereignty, and why everyone, from startups to central banks, is watching. Treasury-backed loans and stablecoins, turns out, they all owe the US debt. If you've followed along this far, you might be thinking, wait a minute, I thought this was all about decentralization and blockchain. Why does US Treasuries keep popping up? Simple answer. Crack open a stablecoin, and at its core, you'll find US government debt beating like a heart. First things first, what is a treasury? A treasury is basically a loan to the government. More specifically, US treasuries are considered the safest assets on earth. Everyone buys them: banks, hedge funds, even other governments. Why? Because unless the US collapses, spoiler unlikely, you're getting your principal and interest back, guaranteed. In crypto, treasuries are the trust engine behind digital dollars. So why are Tether and USDC loading up on treasuries? One reason: we want you to believe this token is really worth $1, but keeping billions in actual cash? Risky and inefficient. No yield, vulnerable to theft, not scalable. So instead, they invest the bulk of their reserves in short-term US treasuries. Safe, liquid like cash, pays interest. Perfect. Wild but true. Tether is now the 17th largest holder of US treasuries. As of 2025, Tether holds over $91 billion in treasuries. That's more than Saudi Arabia, Germany, or Switzerland. So yeah, when people say crypto is powered by decentralization, they kinda forget it's also powered by US government IOUs. How does DeFi connect to treasuries? Funny as it sounds, it's real. When you use USDT as collateral on Aave to borrow crypto, that USDT holds its $1 value thanks to, you guessed it, treasuries. Same with DAI. A lot of its collateral is USDC, which is itself backed by treasuries. So when you thought you were engaging in decentralized finance, what you were actually doing was taking out a loan against US debt, wrapped in blockchain. But still, good old American finance underneath. So here's another way to think about it. Tether and Circle, basically treasury-backed lending institutions. You, a passive consumer of US debt. DeFi, still leaning heavily on legacy finance for stability. This is crypto's ultimate irony, fighting for freedom while leaning on the US dollar's crutches. So is this a problem? Maybe, maybe not. Treasuries are safe, yes, but they're still exposed to macro risks like rate hikes, debt ceiling drama, credit rating downgrades. Plus, this setup means, if the US suddenly says stablecoins are banned, the entire ecosystem could shake. So, to sum it up, the value of stablecoins isn't just supported by clever code or decentralization. It's backed by a country, the United States of America, and its debt. That's right. Beneath all the high-tech blockchain stuff is the oldest, most traditional asset in finance: US Treasuries. Regulation finally comes for stablecoins. Genius versus Clarity Acts. Stablecoins, the digital dollars, grew too fast and too big. And now, the government's stepping in. Alright, that's enough. Time to play by the rules. US lawmakers and regulators are officially moving to tame the wild stablecoin world. At the center of this new regulatory era, two major bills, the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. Genius Act sounds smart, regulates hard. The full name, Guaranteed and Enforceable Neutral and Inclusive Uniform Stablecoins Act. Yeah, that's a mouthful, so we call it Genius. The name sounds friendly, hey, let's make stablecoins safe and fair. But what it really says is, from now on, use stablecoins act like banks. Core requirements of the Genius Act. 100% reserve requirement. Hey USDT, still holding commercial paper? Cut it out. Cash or treasuries only. Real-time reserve disclosures. Quarterly audits? Too slow. Show us your books, now. Full AML, KYC compliance. No money laundering, no terror financing, or you're out. License is required to issue. You can't just wake up and say, I made a stable coin. Get a license, pal. How's Tether taking it? Hey, we already bought a ton of treasuries. This is too much. Fine, we'll move even further offshore. In short, the Genius Act is a leash around Tether's neck. After years of swimming freely in regulatory grey zones, Tether just got cornered. And what about USDC? We already have 100% treasury backing. Audits? Monthly, thanks. Regulation? Bring it on, we've been waiting. For USDC, the Genius Act is like a welcome mat. Circle, the company behind it, is already saying, we're the standard. Let's do this. Clarity Act drawing clear lines, just like the name says. The Clarity Act takes a gentler approach. At its core, don't strangle the developers. What it's all about. DeFi is okay. Developers are definitely okay. If you just write code, you shouldn't go to jail. Front-end builders? You're not criminals. Clear classification of stablecoins. This one's for payments. That one's a security. That one needs a banking license. One system, clear rules. Clarify the regulators SEC versus CFTC turf war. Let's settle who's actually in charge of what. How are devs reacting? They're cheering. For once, someone's saying, it's just software. You're not breaking securities law. Finally, a bill that draws a line between code and crime. So what's the big picture here? Genius Act turns stablecoins into mini-banks. Clarity Act gives DeFi and devs a legal safe zone. If both pass, Tether will face serious audits and may need a full makeover. USDC will explode within the regulated market. DAI and other decentralized stablecoins can partially settle into legal gray areas. DeFi developers will finally get breathing room. This isn't just regulation, it's a restructuring. The old days, launch it first, fix it later. The new rule, build it by the book, or don't build it at all. Crypto's going from Wild West to constitutional city. The history of DeFi, the rebellion of the bankless geniuses. Now that you understand stablecoins, it's time to step onto the real stage, DeFi, or decentralized finance. But this wasn't just a tech breakthrough. It all started with one very rebellious question. Why do we need banks to manage our money? That's how the history of DeFi began, not as a product, but as a full-blown financial rebellion. 2015, the birth of MakerDAO and DAI. Back in 2015, Bitcoin was still seen as digital gold. Ethereum was just opening the door to smart contracts. And some people began to wonder, can we build a bank that runs on the blockchain with no banks? Enter MakerDAO, the first to try, and from them came DAI, the world's first smart contract issued stablecoin. 2018, Uniswap arrives, trading without middlemen. If MakerDAO was like, let's make our own money, Uniswap followed with, cool, now let's trade that money. Uniswap let anyone provide liquidity, created automated liquidity pools, and introduced AMM automated market maker mechanics that adjusted prices using code, not humans. No brokers, no employees. The code was the market. 2020 DeFi summer, the yield farming frenzy. While the world slowed down in COVID lockdowns, the crypto world caught fire. Deposit your coins into DeFi, earn interest. Suddenly, everyone was diving in. Uniswap, Compound, Curve, Aave. Those names made people giddy. Deposit USDT, borrow DAI, stake it, farm it, loop it. It was the golden age of yield farming. 2022, the Terra Luna crash, when algorithms break. But while everyone danced in DeFi summer, a ticking time bomb was quietly counting down. UST is pegged to the dollar. Collateral? Oh, we don't need that. Our algorithm will handle it. Billions flowed in. You know how this ends. Luna printed itself into oblivion. UST collapsed into worthless dust. And just like that, reality hit hard. Everyone relearned the rule. A stablecoin without collateral is a ticking bomb. 2025 DeFi enters the real world. Today, DeFi isn't loud, but it's deeper, heavier, and more serious than ever. DAI, USDC, and USDT form the triangle of trust. Regulators are redrawing the lines with the Genius and Clarity Acts. Developers are creating a legal ecosystem to build safely within the rules. Global financial firms, they're not just watching, they're investing, integrating. DeFi is no longer the enemy of banks. It's becoming the blueprint they're studying. To sum it all up, DeFi was a bold attempt to create a bankless banking system. Stablecoins became the digital fuel that made that system run. Smart contracts were the cold, emotionless machines that kept their promises. And now, regulation is stepping onto the DeFi stage. And we are standing right at the center of it all. The global shift from sidekick to star, stablecoins take the lead. At first, stablecoins were just a stabilizer for the crypto world. But now, they're emerging as the new protagonist of global finance. No longer just a backup battery for crypto, they're evolving into systems that connect directly to the dollar, US Treasuries, and central banks. And the rest of the world. Globally, it's no longer a tech debate. It's a regulatory power struggle over whether stablecoins should be officially included in the financial system. United States, Genius and Clarity Acts. 100% Treasury-backed reserves required. Developer protections clarified. Redefining the lines between DeFi and CeFi. Stablecoins, smart contracts, are being invited into traditional finance infrastructure. Europe, MiCA brings the chains. The markets in crypto assets. MiCA regulation has kicked in. Stablecoin issuers now face ECB-level oversight. Reserves, accounting, AML, Europe is tough. Survival of the fittest. Tether might even face distribution limits in the EU. Thailand, legalizing USDT for daily use. Thai regulators have approved USDT for licensed payments. Gas stations, mobile bills, remittances. Not legal tender, but definitely digital cash in practice. China, no to stablecoins, yes to CBDC. Stablecoins like Tether? Banned. But the state is full steam ahead with digital yuan CBDC. Already tested by tens of millions. Private coins are out. State-run digital currency is in. So, what's Tether up to? Tether isn't just issuing coins anymore. It's positioning itself as a nation-scale asset manager. Claims $2 trillion valuation 2025. Holds over $90 billion in US Treasuries. Through Tether Energy, it's expanding into AI, energy, and peer-to-peer infrastructure. It's no longer a simple issuer. It's building a digital dollar empire. So the real questions now are, is the future of the dollar with the Fed, or with Tether and Circle? Can finance truly run without banks? In summary, stablecoins are no longer dollars inside a digital wallet. They now sit at the crossroads of US Treasuries, global regulation, decentralized tech, traditional finance. They're not just infrastructure, they're the new battleground. And right this very moment, millions of people are tapping their phones to send one USDT. Behind that simple click, US Treasuries and smart contracts are working hand in hand. So now, dear viewer, you know what stablecoins are, why Tether buys so many treasuries, why DAI rules the DeFi space, why regulators love Circle, and what Genius and Clarity are rewriting. You're no longer on the sidelines. You're now part of the digital finance revolution. At this point, you've graduated from crypto rookie to someone who gets the game. So go ahead, open a wallet, try out USDT or DAI. Experience a world without banks, a future where code and trust run the money. It's already here, and you're standing right at the center of it.